Good morning. I'm Dot from dot2drop.com, and I'm going to be making a little breakfast for myself this morning. And one of the things I started looking at when I went low carb is, as much as I love eggs, bacon, sausage, the traditional breakfast foods, and I can eat them without worrying about getting overweight or adding pounds or raising up my insulin levels, I started looking for other solutions for when I didn't feel like having eggs. And there's a really good site that I discovered early on as I was losing my weight that I'll put the link in below that you can take a look at. It's full of low carb recipes, and it's called the lowcarbdiet.com. Wonderful site, and this is one of their recipes, which it's a berry nut cereal. I loved cereal when I was really heavy, but I had to give it up, obviously, when I went low carb. But this one is a way for you to have that nice crunch in the morning. It's very tasty, but it's extremely flexible because the main ingredients are nuts and berries, as you obviously can tell from the title. And you can pretty much use the different types of nuts that you would like to use, as well as berries you'd like to use. What I'm doing for mine is I'm using macadamia nuts. I'm using pecans and walnuts. Now, I probably would have added almonds to this dish, but I'm not because I'm using almond milk for my milk. You can use almond milk. You can certainly use soy milk if that's what you prefer, as well as coconut milk. But this morning I'm using almond milk. And then for my berries, I chose blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries. Traditionally, I would have left off the blueberries and just had a couple of strawberries and just chopped them all up and diced them. But I went with blueberries today. I'm also going to add a pinch of cinnamon just for additional flavor. So with that, I'm going to get going. I'm going to clear my board and start preparing the nuts for the cereal. The nice thing of this recipe is you don't need many tools, you don't cook, you just need a chopping board, a knife, and I do use my kitchen scale because I do measure out the nuts, and I'll have the proportions down below with the recipe. So right now I'm going to go ahead and just quickly give my nuts a little bit of a chopping. Not much, I don't want them terribly small. You have to be careful with the macadamia nuts as they will roll all over the place. But again, it's just something quick. I'm just dicing them up just to make them a little bit smaller. And again, don't judge the knife and skills. I am going to take a knife skills class at some point soon. So my nuts are all chopped up. All you need now is a trusty little bowl, which I'm going to use here. And I'm just going to go ahead and scoop up my nuts and put them in my bowl. Now you may think, gosh, that's not a whole lot, like you would with a big bowl of cereal. But the problem with cereal is we tend to overfill the bowls. We tend to use a lot, and that just adds a lot of sugar and carbs into our diet. I'm going to go ahead and add my berries. Then I'm just going to go ahead and pour the milk in. See, the bowl's looking a lot bigger now, isn't it, as far as more full. I'm just adding my milk. And then I'm going to do a pinch of cinnamon. That's it. And get out my trusty spoon. And there you go. Real easy, real simple to make. I'm going to go ahead and have a bite because it is delicious. I do love. Really good. I will say, excuse me, when you're picking out your almond milk or coconut milk or soy milk, it has to be unsweetened. Now, you can certainly add a low-carb sweetener to something like this if you like. I find you really don't need it, but as long as your milk is unsweetened. Otherwise, if you use sweetened almond milk, you're looking at 16 carbs a serving. This is just 2 carbs for a cup. I used half a cup, so that cuts it down to 1 carb. Plus, there's a lot of fiber, and the nuts will fill you up because there's so much fat in the nuts, and it's healthy fat. So if you're looking for a little break from the eggs and bacon, making yourself a bowl of cereal is a way to go. So I hope you like the video. If you do, excuse me. Try and talk with my mouth full, not a good thing. But if you like the video, go ahead and hit thumbs up or subscribe. And go ahead, please, and share the video with any friends you know who may enjoy it. And if you have any questions or if you have different breakfast ideas that you use in the morning, go ahead and put them on down in the comment box. And until next time, I'll see ya. Important safety tip with this dish, however, I wanted to add, which is nuts are wonderful to use in a low carb diet, but this breakfast is not something you want to do every day. Nuts can actually slow down your weight loss and even stop it if you go, one too many. So it's really important to use the proportions. This is something I would say you would use maybe, once every few weeks. It's not an everyday thing. If you have a more liberal low carb diet or a moderate low carb diet, this is something you can probably do a little bit more often. But if you're doing a strict low carb diet like I am, which is no more than 20 grams of carbs a day, this is something, while it's roughly about 5 grams of carbs, it's not something I enjoy every single day, because it will, and I've seen this happen to me, it will stop my weight loss efforts. So just keep that in mind when you're using nuts in recipes. You want to be careful with that. This one is an awful lot of nuts. Remember, almond milk is essentially nuts. So you just want to be careful with that. So with that, have a good day.